Today we are looking at Shelley Cashman Word 2019 Module 5 SAM Project 1A, the Elliott Reid Pharmaceuticals, and we are making some changes to their report. First thing we need to do is save this, so I'm going to come up here to the File and do a Save As. I'm going to browse, and I'm just going to add this to my desktop so I can find it later. And I'm going to make that 1 after my name to a 2. So it's going to be your name underscore 2, and it should be your name on the document there. I've already downloaded the other 3 support files through Cengage, and I have my instructions up on my other monitor, and I am ready to start working on my project. First thing it wants us to do in step 1 is change the left and right margins to 0.8 to remove the extra white space on the cover page and to reduce the length of the lines in the rest of the document. So I'm going to come up here to my Layout tab. I'm going to go to my Margins, and I'm going to come down here to Custom Margins because I want to do something different to it. And here you can see I can change all of the margins on my document. I want to change the left to 0.8 and the right to 0.8, and then I'm going to say OK. And you can see, if you looked real closely, you could see everything kind of just alter and move just a little bit. Now on page 1, which is our cover page here, we want to delete the content control displaying today's date and then delete the blank paragraph that included the content control to avoid dating the report. We don't want any dates on this report. There's a couple different ways we can do it. I'm just going to come down here and I'm going to backspace, and then to delete that content control, then I'm going to hit the delete key to delete that blank line. So I got rid of that content control for the date, and then I got rid of that blank line. Step 3, type Elliott Reid in the company name content control. So I'm just going to click here where it says company name. I'm going to type in Elliott Reid. You need to make sure you spell it correctly, otherwise the program is not going to recognize it and it will count you off. So make sure you spell that Elliott Reid correctly. Step 4, apply the basic elegant style set to use the standard style set for Elliott Reid reports. Word has a lot of built-in style sets for us where we can go in and we can make changes to our reports with just click of one button. So up here on the Design tab, we have all of these different formatting options, these different style sets we can choose. And if you move your mouse over them, you can see the name will pop up in our little screen tip. We want the basic elegant, so we're just going to select that. So I need to get out of everything, and then go to basic elegant and select it. Then we want to create some custom theme colors. So here on the same ribbon, the same tab, over here on the right we have colors and fonts, and we can take this colors. These are some different color sets that we have that's going to make changes to our headings and our hyperlink colors. We're going to come down here to custom colors, and we're going to make some changes to this. We want to create a customized set of themes that uses teal accent 6 as accent 3. So down here on accent 3, we're going to change this to teal accent 6. And then we're going to change the hyperlink color right here to green accent 4. And we're going to change the name from custom 1 to Elliott Reid. So we know that any time that we want to do something for Elliott Reid, we want to use these colors. So all of our documents will be the same as far as the color goes. So we're going to hit save. Then we want to make some changes and create a font theme as well. So we're going to come here to the fonts. You're going to come down here to customize fonts. And you can see we have a couple of different options we can choose from here. We want to set Calibri as the heading font. So under here with the heading font, I'm going to click on this little arrow. And I'm just going to type in C to get to the Calibri. And then my body font, I want it to be Calibri Light. And I want to name this one Reports. So I know that anytime in the future when I come in here and I want to do a report, this is the theme that I want to use for the fonts. I want to use this Reports theme. So I'm going to click Save. Just keep some consistency going in your documents that you're creating for your company. We are now ready for step 6. On page 2, create a new paragraph style to use for introduction text. So we want to create a paragraph style named Intro based on the first body paragraph. Why do consumers choose one pharmaceutical product over another? So I'm going to select here. I'm just going to click in this first paragraph here. And then on the Home tab, I have these different styles. So I can click on this More option, and I'm going to create a style. And the style name that I want is Intro. And I'm going to modify this style. I want to change the spacing before the paragraph. So I'm going to come down here to the Format. I'm going to format the paragraph. And I'm going to change the spacing before to 12. And say OK. Then I want to change the intro style to 14 point. I'm going to say OK. And now we have an intro style that we've created. The other thing we want to do here on page 2 is where it says insert email address right here. We actually want to insert an email address. So I'm going to highlight all of this. And I'm going to first type in the text info@er.cengage.com. And now I want to make this into a hyperlink. So I'm going to highlight the text, come up here to Insert. I've got my link, and I'm going to put Insert Link. And down here, I want the text to display. I want it to link to an email address. Text to display. info@er.cengage.com. And that is my email address. So I'm just going to copy that down here. I'm going to say OK. And then I want to add a screen tip. I always forget to put the screen tip on here. So here's my screen tip. And I want it to say Elliott Reid email address. I want it to go to this. Now I've got 2 in here. Get rid of this first one. I don't know why. I always end up doing that twice. So again, I just inserted a link for my email address. So I highlight that info@er.cengage.com, come up here to link, insert an email hyperlink and make sure that you add the screen tip so that when somebody puts their mouse over it, then it says Elliott Reid email address in the screen tip. So now down here, we're ready for number 8. We want to move row 4 in the table so that it becomes row 1, so we have headings. So down here you can see our factor and percentage is down in the 4th row. We want that to be number 1. So I can just highlight, just click over here to the left of it. Then I can just click and drag and drop. And I've moved my rows in my table. So now I have table headings. Now we want to insert a table. So in the at Cengage, you downloaded all these tables. We want to take the table, we're going to open it up, and we want to copy this table. So we have to go up here and go enable editing first. Then I'm going to click on the table and then right click on it and copy. I'm going to come back to my document, and over here on page 2 where it says insert table here, I'm just going to highlight that, right click, I want to paste, and I want to keep the source formatting. I want to keep it as it was created. And so there is my table, and I don't even have to do any more formatting. The next thing it wants us to do is the same thing with the quotation. So I'm going to go back to my documents that I downloaded, and I've got my quotation document. I'm going to highlight the text, right click and copy, come back to my document. On page 2 I have insert quotation here. I'm going to highlight that text, right click, I want to copy, and again I want to keep the source formatting, and that's going to put that quotation in and keep it italicized. Now number 11, we want to insert a bulleted list that Elliott Reid uses in a lot of documents. So we don't want to keep having to find the document and copying and pasting. We're going to make what's called a quick part, so we can just go to it right away and grab it and add it into our document. So we're going to come up here and go to the documents that we downloaded. So we're going to go to our support list document here. First thing we have to do here is enable editing. So I'm going to click that to enable editing. This is our bulleted list. I don't want to keep retyping it. I just want to save that as a quick part. So I'm going to highlight it up here on my insert tab. Over here, make this full screen size, I've got quick parts over in my text grouping. I'm going to click on the little down arrow, and I want to save selection to quick part gallery. I want to name it survey. In my quick parts, I'm just going to say OK. Now mine says, do you want to redefine it? Because I've already done this once, and I'm just resaving it over it. And so maybe it was updated. I can do it. I can just say, yes, this is my new survey block. I can close that. I can come back to my document that I'm working on. Come down to the very bottom, in the first blank line, and I want to insert that survey quick part. So up here under my insert tab, I've got my quick parts over here. I can select that arrow, and right up here is that survey. Here's that list. I don't have to retype it. I didn't even have to copy and paste. There it is. The only thing I want to do to this list in this document is I want to change those bullets and make them a check mark from my Wingdings bullet symbol gallery. So I'm just going to highlight the list, come up here to my Home tab and my bullets, and I'm going to define a new bullet. This is something that we've done quite a bit in this class, so none of this should be new to you. I'm going to click on Symbol. I want the Wingdings gallery, so I can come up here, get rid of Symbol. Type in a W, and I'll go down to the W's. I'm going to go to Wingdings. It tells me in my instructions what the symbol number is. It's 252, and it's this check mark right here. I'm going to say OK, and then OK again, and now I've got my check marks. So now I can save this, close it, come back to Cengage. I'm going to find that document. Find where I saved it at. Where is it at? I'm going to click here. I'm going to find my document and open. I've got my green check mark. I'm going to submit it for grading. I'm going to go in and I'm going to view my report. I got 92 out of 100. I bet it didn't like the way I did my email. Nope. I always have trouble with my email hyperlink. So you might need to go in there and just resubmit that. Go into your document. Let's see. I'm going to open up my document here. It's on my desktop. It doesn't like this right here, so I'm just going to delete that. I want to submit this. I want the text in here to be info@er.cengage.com. Oh, how about info? Come up here. Make this a hyperlink. It doesn't like the way I'm doing this. So I'm going to come up here. I'm going to remove this link. I'm going to put a new one in. So this is my link, so I'm going to highlight it and copy. Come up here to link and insert link. I want an email address. Info@er. There we go. Say OK. Put a space in here. I'm going to save this. Close it. Okay, come on, close. Come back here to my assignment. Oh, let's bring this back up again. One reason I like doing this is so that you can see sometimes your instructors have just as many issues as you do trying to get stuff in, trying to do it quickly, and that's usually where you get in trouble. Okay, and that's my view, my new report. And it still didn't like it. Convert text to a hyperlink. The text should be formatted as a hyperlink. Oh my gosh. I must be doing something incorrectly here. Let me see. Okay, so I'm in my hyperlink. I'm going to make some changes to it. The text is just supposed to be mail to. So I'm going to right-click on it and edit my hyperlink. The text display is just supposed to be info at er.cengage.com. I'm going to say OK. I'm going to save it, close it. Now let's come back up here. And resubmit it. Open it back up here again. And it really doesn't like me today. I'm going to come back up here and I'm going to resubmit it and submit and view my report, and it still doesn't like it. So at this point in time, I would probably email my instructor and say, hey, it is there, and probably, I know I would give you credit for it, so, but just not sure, quite sure what's going on with that. Not doing a step right somehow that it doesn't like. So, again, if you have that issue, just let your instructor know, reach out to them. And hopefully you can get yours to work. I don't know what the heck I'm doing. Doing something wrong somewhere, but you know what? At this point, I'd be perfectly content with a 92 out of 100. That's still an A. So have a good day, and hopefully your score was 100 out of 100.